This episode of Mustang Football Talk is brought to you by Home Indeed, your home improvement and construction planning center at 1208 1st Street West in Independence, or online at homeindeed.net.
Chris Shaw coming at you from the auditorium here in Independence High School, talking Mustang football for week 2 alongside Coach Zizis of the freshman team. Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Yeah. Coaching staff tells me that you're the rookie on staff.
I am.
How's that going?
Going pretty well. We like to pick on each other because that's one of my things, so it works out pretty well.
Nice. Thursday night, talk about that game down at Anamosa. How'd that go for you guys?
We got beat. 32-13, something like that. We had some guys hurt. We got a couple guys hurt. Quarterbacks hurt. Right guard is hurt. Second series, we had another lineman go down, and that hurt us because then we had 2 running backs basically on our line. Mm-hmm. So we had to make some adjustments and didn't really get it figured out till the second half. We ended up getting 2 touchdowns in the second half, and we pretty much. I think they scored twice too in the second half, so it was pretty much 12-12 second half. But the boys played pretty, good. We had some, mental breakdowns, fumbles and just, penalties that are just things that, freshmen do, but things we have to improve on.
Sure.
But for next week, we're going to make some adjustments, and hopefully they're, the right adjustments.
Mm-hmm. Next week, you mentioned next week. When do you guys take the field next?
We play Friday. We travel to North Fayette Valley, nice. And we play right before the Varsity does.
Know much about them as an opponent?
For Varsity, Varsity and freshmen, they probably run this. They run the same offense, 4-4. I know Varsity level, they got 2 big horses in the middle. Put the weight together. They're probably about 700 pounds. So, but they have a 380-pound freshman. That'd be a tough chore, but I don't think they do. So,
that'd be difficult.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, Coach. Thanks for catching up with us. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks.
Welcome back to the show now with Coach Mathis of the sophomore team. Coach, how you doing tonight?
Great.
Good. Coach, you guys played Saturday night before the game got pushed back a day with the rain and lightning here in Independence. Talk about the game from your perspective.
Yeah, well, it's always nice to start off the season with a win, and we won 26-6 over Waterloo Columbus, and had some nice progressions throughout the game of some people getting some playing time. We had some freshmen step up that Hunter Shannon was able to fill in and caught a touchdown pass, and then obviously we had our anchors with Noah Gall and Seth House, and as well as Hunter Crawford, kind of that are good leaders on the sophomore team that were able to kind of set the tone and get us off to a good start.
You mentioned Gall and House. Those were 2 names that I called a couple times on Saturday night with the Varsity.
Mm-hmm.
Some of your sophomores got in at the end of that game. What does that do to kind of help the progression along as they go on through the season?
Well, I think it just kind of gives them a taste of what the expectations are, and so they're able to bring that down to the sophomore level, mm-hmm. as well as during practice and during the games, and that leadership that they're able to bring forth, and that's always a good thing because hopefully it can spread throughout the program.
Sure. Looking ahead, you mentioned you play Thursday night.
Yep.
When we were off camera, you mentioned that. What are you looking for with North Fayette Valley?
Well, obviously, I assume that they'll probably do a little bit what their varsity does, just like how we do. So I'm hoping that we're able to, just stick to what we do well and bring home a W, or we'll be playing over at here instead of over there. Okay. So hopefully we'll have some people out in the stands and get a W to start off the week for the football team.
Sure. What time's kickoff on Thursday night?
6 o'clock, I believe.
6 o'clock at Lyle Linebaugh Field?
6:30, sorry, 6:30.
All right. Sounds good. 6:30, Lyle Linebaugh Field on Thursday night. Come out and support the sophomores as they take on North Fayette Valley. Chris Shaw back here on Mustang Football Talk, talking youth football programs now with Coach Wendling and Coach Hine. Nice to see you guys tonight.
Thank you for having us.
I wanted to touch base about the program. You guys explained kind of what the program was like last week on the show here. Now we had a chance to have the Jamboree at Jessup this past weekend, correct? Yep. How'd that go for you guys?
Overall, well. I know my team, it's the first time that you meet somebody. I mean, you're not going against your buddy. And slow start, but by the end of the day, they figured it out.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, there's always room for improvement. So I mean, that's good.
We've only had 8 practices, so I mean it's a good gauge of kind of, you know, we throw a lot out of them in 8 practices, so it's kind of see what they've retained, and you know, it's a different game atmosphere, so it gives us a good thing to going forward to kind of judge where we're at compared to other teams in our conference.
Sure, absolutely. You guys had the Jamboree this weekend. How'd they go for the teams? Did you guys they keep a running clock and scoreboard, stuff like that?
We do a continuous clock of 12 minutes. The coaches are out in the field, so it's a really just a, you know, a scrimmage atmosphere. So they did 25-yard fields because the weather ended up affecting us also. So they condensed us down, they pushed us through quicker. But you know, overall it went pretty well. I thought our offenses look good. Defense is something we don't spend a lot of time in practice in the beginning. It's easier. Kids' instinct just will go after and tackle. So overall, I thought good showing for Independence. So.
Looking forward now, when you guys get the 5th, 6th graders back on the field again?
Be the 17th.
13th?
September 13th, yep.
Where at?
Here, actually.
Oh, nice.
Be here. It'll be 2 games on Sunday. So we have 6 more practices, something like that, before those. So we'll see how much they can retain before that. Yep. So, and a lot of those teams over there, we did play, you know, Saturday. So it's not going to be a big surprise to them. So.
With school starting this week, it's going to be a new challenge for them. It's you know, we've had the 2 weeks of practice where they haven't had school, they haven't had that going on. So now we shorten down practice. We're 3 nights a week, and kind of now we'll introduce the school work and stuff like that. It's another new challenge. So
get them ready for that next level. You know, you
Yep.
have the 7th and 8th grade, and
Yep.
then freshman varsity level,
Yep.
stuff like that. So you guys, practice-wise, a couple hours, a couple days a week for the kids?
Yep, we're starting now Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 6 to 8, so 2 hours a night. I would say that's about, I think, what 7th and 8th grade does too. So it's you know, they're used to it. I think they catch on real quick to that. So, and we get plenty of water breaks and stuff like that, and it's overall.
it's about the appropriate time. I mean, when you
Yeah.
figure with the talk, I mean, we have a lot of breakdowns and we're discussing stuff quite a bit, you know. So it's works out well.
Yep. So viewers at home, if they want to come out to see the Jamboree on the 13th, what time do the Independence teams take the field?
One starts at 1 o'clock, and the other one will be 2:30, I believe.
Yep.
And they're back to back, so we'll be there all day, pretty much.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, coaches. Nice to
you.
meet you, and good luck on the 13th.
Thank you.
Back here on Independence Mustang Football Talk with Coach Putz, head coach of the varsity squad. Coach, big win on Saturday night, a little bit different. We're playing on Friday night. Did that do anything for the kids?
Yeah, you know, not really. You know, we haven't even been to school in session anyway yet, so it's not like they've gone to school and then to a game. And, you know, really our guys were pretty focused coming in. You know, they're excited about game 1. So, you know, outside of, you know, doing things at 9 o'clock walkthrough and along those lines, nothing was really different.
For sure. Nick Holt and Jake Jewell, two standout kids on the squad Saturday night, talking about their efforts as the Mustangs, 33-7, right?
Yes. You know, both of those two had over 100 yards rushing. Anytime you put 2 people over 100 yards on the ground, typically means you're going to have a good offensive night, you're going to control things. You know, Nicholas actually had 199 yards, just one shy of 200. But they both ran hard. You know, Jake Jewell hit the hole, ran hard, strong, physical. And Nicholas made a couple plays that just put the speed on and, you know, turned a small gain into a big gain. And both of them just did an outstanding job.
We talked about this a little bit on the post-game show on Saturday night, but offensive line, you know, when you have 2 runners go over 100 yards, it's not just them. You know, the offensive line did some things the right way. Not a lot of those guys get a lot of recognition. Just talk about their efforts a little bit.
You know, they had a great night. I think that was probably our biggest question mark coming into the season. That was the group that we thought needed to improve after our scrimmage, and they did that. You know, they had a great week of practice. They took the things that maybe we didn't do right against center point in our scrimmage, and, you know, ultimately came out and didn't allow a sack, had 375 yards of rushing. You know, did a great job all night. We're really proud of that group.
Sure. Defense, I couldn't not mention them as we had a big goal line stop just before the halftime, and then a big drive killer with the interception. Talk about just defense a little bit on Saturday night's game.
You know, there's a few things we felt like maybe we could have got off the field a little sooner. And there's some things we need to improve alignment-wise. But, you know, we did a nice job for week 1. Got some new guys in new positions. Mason Wood came out, got a big interception for us early in the first half, on a jump call and jumped in front of a route on third down, and something that, we needed him to do, and he did a great job of executing it. Jake Jewell had a big knockdown on the ball in the end zone there at the end of the first half, to help keep us momentum, getting to his right spot. Now, some small things we need to fix this week in terms of alignment. We need to get lined up correctly. We need to be in the right spots that are going to help us get off the field and put the offense in a tougher position.
Sure. Next week, next Friday night, head into West Union to play North Fayette Valley, the defending 2A state champs. Not sure what they're ranked, the third, fourth, something like that in the state in Class 2A. Just defeated Decorah, who is a district team. What do you expect on Friday night?
I know they're a physical football team. It's going to be a good test for us to see, where are we at physically? A lot of the Columbus came out, threw the ball on us a little bit. North Fayette Valley is going to be the opposite. They're going to have probably the biggest offensive line, no doubt the biggest offensive line will play this year. They're going to run the ball behind them. Going to be in the T, going to be in a wing T at times, and they're going to come right at you. And so it's going to be a challenge to see, are we going to be ready to go and hit him back in the mouth a little bit.
Sure. You mentioned defensively next Friday night. Offensively, what do you expect? Do they do a lot of blitz sets, 4-3, 3-4, kind of that stuff?
They'll be in the 4-4. They're going to have as big a D tackles as any high school team will have. They'll have almost a 400-pound Division I kid and a 300-pound state wrestler on the other spot. So they count on them to kind of clog the middle up, and their linebackers play downhill. They play fast. So it'll be a good challenge for us.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. And you'll be able to listen to that game on 95.3, bright 95.3 KQMG, starting at 7:15 or so with the pregame show. Coach, anything you want to add?
No, I tell you, I appreciate you step into the podcast with us and covering our radio games this year.
No problem. Glad to do it, Coach. Thanks for joining me. Like you mentioned, next Friday night, Independence travels to West Union, takes on North Fayette Valley. 7:15, 7:30, right around there, pregame show on KQMG.